You said something so poignant to my mind. I'd like you to expand on it. You said that your kids, having witnessed what happened to you in Iraq, you wanted them not to be frightened of the world, not to be scared of the world. So that was one of the reasons for taking on this trip. Tell me more about that. That just was intense.
I think I just looked at my kids afraid when I came back from Iraq, almost 15 years ago. As things got better, and I knew that there was hope to go back to some of these places, I just wanted to assure my kids that your dad wasn't in places that you could never go to again. I wanted them to know that the world is actually a pretty decent place, and I didn't want them to be feeling trapped inside the house somewhere back where where they were living at the time. The world is a place for adventure. It's a place to go out and try to learn. And I just wanted to make sure that they don't have this impression that anywhere they go over the border that they, will be attacked or hit or just wounded in some way. I just want to make sure they knew that life, can be good.
My dad raised me on a principle that there's danger in every country. And just because something happens in a certain country that you're in doesn't mean that that country is dangerous. Yes. It means that, danger exists everywhere. It exists within our borders. It exists within Canadian borders. It exists in everyone's borders. So it's not so much about the place. It's just about, where you find yourself and how you act when you're there.
Mac, I noticed something interesting in your manner. I saw they sent us 1 and 5. And I noticed that at the beginning, you were a little bit wary, a little, like this in Papua New Guinea. And then you were just so relaxed in Colombia, with the drug cartels and everything. You were so relaxed. So you kind of grew into it. And, if you had any fear, it evaporated, it seems to me.
Well, I'm glad it came off that way. I think initially I was definitely a bit more hesitant. My dad's been doing this for a very long time, and I certainly have not. So when you throw us both in the same environment and you're faced with these external situations that I've never been accustomed to, it took some adjusting. But I think I got there eventually. And I think around the 3rd episode of Lebanon, there's a pretty big turning point in my life and definitely in the show of me sort of being by my dad's side and watching what he does and learning from that. And that sort of switches to, both of us feeling very comfortable where we are and our mission is the same.
I think it's kind of scary. You said that he looks really comfortable when he's around drug cartels. Maybe it's just a genetic thing. I don't know.
I wouldn't say so comfortable. Maybe it looks a bit more comfortable than it was.
But something very positive is that you found many of these hot spots are now touting tourism, which is such a beautiful way to get out of the traps that they're in.
Yeah, I think Ukraine's a great example. Chernobyl. Who would want to go to Chernobyl after, you and I, we remember that. I'm sure you do too. You remember when that thing happened.
Yeah.
Go back there, and especially going there with your kids, it seems a little odd. But the fact is that it is. I think, at least I hope it's safe.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Well, I mean, it's how safe just to go outside. So.
But you make a good point. Tourism is coming back in a big way in all of the countries that we went to. And it was pretty dire for a lot of these places in the very recent past, but people are going back, and we were lucky enough to be where we were and help encourage the tourism to go back there. Of course, times are different right now, but it'll rebound just as it did before.
Exactly. And Mac, will you seek out a career as a journalist?
My dad laughs at that, but yes, I don't know if that's going to be behind the camera, in front of the camera, but I fell in love with being in front of it, and especially being with my dad. If we could keep doing that would be amazing. But if not, hopefully there's a lot of opportunities for me to continue to do this.
Speaking of working with your dad, your relationship is, to my mind, the major takeaway of the series. Bob, you were away a lot when he was growing up, and here you are, going through all these adventures. I mean, I don't know how many other fathers and sons would ever do this sort of thing. You're so lucky, Mac and Bob.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad
Because we're
thing.
insane, or because this is
Well, partly, But
probably.
catching crocodiles with bare hands.
Yeah, that's that was actually Mac. As you can say, you can see he was in love with crocodiles. And he caught turtles, and he certainly was in love with this trip. He actually
Yeah.
ate bugs, which I didn't want to eat because
I'm with you, Bob.
We have our different strengths. I think my dad had nothing really to prove since he's been doing this for a long time. And on the other hand, I was the newcomer and there's a big camera in my face. So I had to step up. And I think there are moments that I succeeded in that, others maybe not so much.
But the time spent together is absolutely precious. And I traveled a bit with my mom, so I know the feeling. So just be thankful that you got the chance to do that.
Well, we get these chances to travel together as families when the kids are young, right? We have control. They have to go where we tell them to go.
Yeah.
But then we start to lose them. They head off to college and go to get a job. Maybe they move across the country or some other part of the world. So this is a pretty rare chance to come up with this way to see each other for 5 straight months, sleeping in the same room and sometimes the same bed in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the great part, but hey, it was. But
It accelerates a relationship, that's for sure.
Precisely. Will there be a season 2?
Well, it depends how hard you push on it.
Oh, all right. I'll do my bit because I love the show. They only sent us 2 episodes, but I'm dying to see Chernobyl.
Yeah, we think you'll enjoy the other 4. We're hoping for a season 2, but there's certainly no
Yeah.
whether that'll happen or not, especially during these uncertain times.
It's hard to shoot.
We're hopeful.
Yeah. Well, now, yes, of course. Thank you so much, you two. I thoroughly enjoyed speaking to you, and congratulations on this groundbreaking series.
Thank you
Thanks
so much.
Ann. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.